What do you think, kids? Tell me in the chat, the live chat. Do you like the music, the stuff, the things? I don't know. I'm just screwing around, trying to have a good time. Having a good time with you isn't difficult. Yeah, we all want to be DJs, right? All right, big time excitement today because we're going to be traveling over to Texas and dealing with our friend Tom. Let's see some information here. Tom started working with me in February. So that's not a long time. Tom and I sent out a letter of intent, and that letter of intent has a response, and that's what we're going to talk about mostly. Yes, he has himself a year of free rent. Are you new to the channel? Comment in the chat. Are you old to the channel? Comment in the chat. What do I care if you're new or old to the channel? Try not to be an idiot. No matter what, either way, I want to get the juices flowing, and I always want to do that with you louts out there. I like the music, says the first comment. Look at that. Southern Gold. If you know me, you know I want to know your real name. If your YouTube handle is ilikebonbons18.com, just let me know what your name is, maybe where you're typing from. Reminds me of a late night talk show. Very cool, yeah. Little hold music, Paul. Candace says, hey, Danny. Hey. Mac, let's get the party started. Let's do it, Mac. I'm new to the channel, says Candace. Hi, Candace. What drew you to this particular live? Is this brand new, or have you been watching me for a little while? I guess you should ask succinct questions since it's a one-way conversation. First video. Wait. Thanks, Martha. Glad to see I did my hair. Yeah, that way you don't have to just watch the, you don't want to see me without hair and makeup. Candace, come on, help us out. First video ever. What's good? What's up, Cap? I want to go completely off of a good question. Candace has been watching for the past month. All right, Candace, tell me one thing you learned from this here channel that you had no knowledge of. Excited to work with you, she says. Okay, good. Have you picked up the silly course? And others on here will say, who know me, I'm not trying to sell you that course. I'm just trying to figure out where you are in the journey. Jose, the one and only. Hey, buddy. Kill shot. That's me. Jose then retracted his next message. What the with you? Come on, Candace, type faster. The one and only. You already said it. He wrote it once. He retracted it. Did you misspell something, Jose? Jose? Jose and his brother, Jose B. Ba-dum-bum. I have a button for that somewhere. I just don't know how to find it. That's not the button I wanted. There we go. Those are the buttons that come with the stupid thing, like this one. What? So lame. I'm just over here hitting my buttons because I'm waiting for Candace. This is what happens. Candace probably had a pot on. It started boiling. And now none of us are going to hear anything. Oh, Jose misspelled something or misgrammared something. Yes, sir, I know how you are with grammar. That's okay, buddy. I got it. Candace says the thing she's learned that she knew nothing about, that infrastructure is the key to search for a laundromat. I will never buy a laundromat outright. I'm so glad I have found you. Well, I am too. If that's the case, then I've already done my job. We can do a split screen and look at Candace's Um, there's Candace's face. Candace, are you really that lovely? Come on. Nobody's buying that. I don't know if I believe it. And then we go back to the mainstream picture. Look at me jumping all over the place. If we don't look at your picture, Candace, then all we see is a little tiny blurbometer. Well, you guys suck. There's only 15 of you on here, and it looks like, let's do the math. Somebody do the math. How many of the 15, what percent? 19, how many of the 19 people on here are actually interacting with Danny Boy? Help us out. The word of the day. Help us out. There's that word again. I'll be purchasing the course, and yes, I am that lovely. LOL. Candace, never LOL. Never. Unless you're a 14-year-old girl, we have certain things we cannot allow, like lolling. Stop lolling, all of you people. My friend is a Marine Scout sniper, and he sends me a lol. How do you think that makes him look? Yo, Danny, wee. Lee, I don't know what you're trying to say. Candace is from Canada. You're supposed to say A after that, aren't you? Candace, I've put a lot of folks in Laundromats in Canada. Ready to go when you are. Dennis says, hey, Danny. Hey. All right, let's see it. Everybody, what's your real first name? And where are you watching from? There's 18 of you. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. We lost somebody? Who the fuck would leave? Sorry, who the left this channel? We're going to talk to an actual client. We sent in an LOI. It came back. He's excited. And we might as well get to it. I'm going to put some little X's across my screen because that's what I do to find my spot. I don't know how to do it any different or better. What would you guys like to see on the channel more of? Let's do that. I'm pretty relaxed today. We had 3 leases signed through clients this morning. I always ask them for pictures or videos, and I don't get them very often. It's an awkward moment when you're there with your brandy new landlord and you say, hey, you mind if we get a selfie? I understand that. But today I got 2 out of 3 photos, so I'm pretty excited. All right, we're gonna talk to them. Mike from Philly. How do you say water, Mike? Just like that. Freddie G is in Peoria. Yo, Freddie. Candace, who's new to the channel for 1 month, Vancouver, BC. Very nice. She's a model. Dennis, Colorado. Talked to you the other day on here. That's right. You did, Dennis. Hi. Thanks for reminding me. I would have forgotten. Josh is in Houston. Skeetland Trap. You shoot trap, Josh, in Houston? Mark in Cummings, Georgia. Oh shit, Mac. I don't think I even knew that your name was Mark. Probably did. I'm still going to call you Mac McDonald. Is that your nickname, Mark? Mac? You'll be getting my dough soon. I'm here in Rhode Island. Well, thank you. Cap, whoever that is. Like Captain America throws his mighty shield. Is it that? Lee, but Danny, I found another store. He owns like 2, but when I talked to him on the phone, he said he just owns the building, but has nothing to do with the person that's operating the inside. Lee, this is a dangling participle, dude. You're like in the middle of telling me a story, and you're telling me the story from the middle. If you have an individual who's just a landlord who doesn't run the laundromat, that's who we talk to. He says he has nothing to do. First of all, you shouldn't be speaking to the landlord if you're going to bring me on board. Avoid a conversation. You can speak to them surreptitiously. What is that word? Kill shot. Oh, sorry, wrong button. There's that word again. So surreptitiously meaning say something phony. When I tell clients, don't talk to the landlord, I mean in the capacity of someone interested in the laundromat. It's okay to speak to them regarding their building. Hey, I'm upgrading electrical systems. I'm doing this. I'm selling wares. I'd like to park my food truck in your parking lot. Can I give you free lunch for a month? Whatever you have to say. Ryan Chapman says, Ryan in Dallas, you're the best, Danny. We've been on the phone a few times, and I have stepped away for a period of time, but I'm coming back, and we will be on the phone again soon. Well, I hope all is well, Ryan. Now, this guy, the Prince of Laundry, really jams me up. Danny Jr. from Cave Creek, Arizona. Come on, you are not. Let's look at his account. Go to channel. Prince of Laundry. This channel doesn't have any content. Interesting. Don't make me do this to you, Prince of Laundry. He joined December 4th, 2013. All right, I had my YouTube channel going for years. I don't know, dude. Why'd you change your name to Prince of Laundry and then start messing with me? Tell us all the truth. We're waiting. I'm not completely... What? There's a pretty big lag on this channel, I'm noticing. I guess that's normal. Lee says, my bad. No, I was asking him. I lost something. Oh, good. So you were speaking surreptitiously to the landlord. Smart. Nancy from Tennessee. Hello, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. He started giving me the business about the building, his business about the building. I never asked. I just asked him I lost something, and he went into the spiel about, spelled spill, about his business. Trust me, I didn't talk to him about I want it. I didn't. All right, Lee, we'll put it all in the document. We're working together, I think. Right, Lee? Come on, give me some. Okay, here's who I want to hear from. Everybody else, calm down. Stop your. Is anyone on here watching me for the first time? Let us know. Just say yes. Is anyone on here seeing me for the first time? Let us know. There's 23 diehard Danny lovers on here, either future or present Danny lovers. Our friend Candace. Do you speak French, Candace? Oui, oui. The language of love. There is a shower scene in the DVD, by the way. Oh my God, I still call it a DVD. It's a course. It's a course. It's streaming. Of course, it's a course. A horse. I'm waiting for the delay, which kind of peeves me off. This is live, but there's a little bit of a delay. Anyone on here that is seeing me for the first time, I'm gonna take that as a no. Try to write in complete sentences, kids. It'll help me out later. So, 2 questions. What would you like to see more of on the channel? Is anyone new to the channel? Only speak if you are. I don't think anybody is. And tell me something you learned from my course, if you've seen it, that you had zero knowledge of. No knowledge, whether it's general knowledge or some laundromat thing. Mac, what did I do? There's as close as you're going to get to seeing Shelly today. There you go, buddy. I think she's watching this live, so she might come in. I don't know. I'm trying to interact with you guys, but you're not helping.
Hello?
Tommy boy.
Yes, sir.
Live on the YouTubeinator, so don't give us your social or anything crazy.
All right.
Did you know we were on YouTube?
Yeah, I was watching it.
That's funny. Did you see the thumbnail earlier and think, oh my God?
Yeah, I had a feeling.
This is going to be
I went to
me.
share.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I wasn't too sure. In the beginning, you said Tom, so already knew.
Ah, dude, my phone, I need to go visit the AT&T store. My phone is cutting in and out. I'm going to call you right back.
Okay.
All right, bye. When you work with me, you're going to see that I'm as real as it gets, meaning I don't have another phone. I know that a lot of these fake guru, a lot of these knuckleheads, they like to get on a Zoom call. What are they really afraid of? If you get pissed off at me and you've consulted with me, you're going to send me a text. I'm going to read the text. It might be 4 a.m. I might be asleep. I might be awake. I might be in Europe. I might be on a shooting range. But I'm going to get back to you. Trying to have some anonymity and stand behind technology is not my way. I'm not going to get into who is a man and what makes a man and what my father taught me and all that kind of shizzy. But in reality, people are utterly astounded. My God, you're real. The reason for that is because I don't want to have to figure out who I lied to on what day and what lies I need to make up for. It's easier to tell the mother truth. Candace, keep talking. Guys, hit me up with questions, comments. Revere. Paul Revere. All right, I'm trying to fix my Bluetooth. Back to Tom, I guess. Good. Good. Shelly, if you're watching, we got to get to the AT&T store.
Can you hear me?
Who? What? What happened?
Oh God.
Oh God. Don't get nervous now because there's like 25 whole people that care about this. Nancy says,
shit.
proper rate of rent for a laundromat. Never, oh, this is what she learned. Never buy a laundromat. How to spot a struggling laundromat. I can go on and on. Well, thank you, Nancy. Candace says, minimum square. Now, Candace hasn't seen the silly course, but she's learned all this already. Minimum square footage of a laundromat to be profitable, 1,500 square. I never knew about that prior. Even the minimum number of washers required. It really helped open my eyes to things. Well, if you're not going with your supermodel status into laundromats all weekend, Candace, normally you wouldn't know any of that stuff. Jose says, Mr. D, what's the max you'd pay for a 4,500 square foot location in the Bronx, New York? Landlord wants $10,000 a month, which is $26 a square foot. Jose, I don't know your history, but let me ask you this, Jose. Have we consulted? Have you seen the course? Just let me know those two things. And guys, please understand, if you are new to the channel, brand new, I've said course like 50 times. None of the goal of none of this is to get you to give me 10 cents or $10. It's not. But I'm trying to vet people, right? If I know Jose has seen the course, then I know what he knows. You understand? And I don't need to go through a lot of that. But Jose, I'm wondering, two questions. Have you seen the silly course? Have we consulted? And if we consulted, I'm wondering why he hasn't just texted me these questions. Cap says, I've learned about minimal size laundromats. I've learned about infrastructure is key. I've learned about the keys to look for when scoping these places out, making the companies duke it out to sell me equipment. Very nice. I added the equipment word because I know what he was going to say. YouTubeinator only gives you so many words. Dennis, what I learned is to steer away from testimonies. What does that mean? In what way, Dennis? I'm intrigued. Learned why we retool after 7 years, also resetting the rent. Very good. Max says, I'll take it. The picture. He's a big Shelley fan. Watch out. I am too. Nancy, would you do business with a slumlord? He won't replace the HVAC or give any TI money. Yeah, of course. But don't forget, these are laundromat locations. And I don't use the word slumlord loosely, right? That's another level of landlord. If you have a hinky feeling that this dude isn't going to do anything in the first few weeks before you've signed, don't sign. If there is no TI and he won't replace the HVAC, you have to have arguments, Nancy. You have to make them understand. You have to set traps, and they're known to work. So Nancy, same question. Have you seen the course? Have we consulted? And you guys need to remind me that I'm trying to get in a conversation with Nancy and perhaps Jose. I'm getting you, Tommy boy. I'm sorry for taking your time.
Yeah, no problem. You good?
Cap, most importantly, I learned to pound the pavement and not just use the Google. And then he stopped his thing. Prince of Laundry says Nigel is Danny after a few cocktails. Okay. I don't know what that means. Freddie, what's the average time it takes a new client to find their first laundromat? When you say client, I get emails on the regular from people that are telling me, like we started this with Marcus yesterday. Sends me an email, says, hey, I love the course. I'm not looking for my refund for my course money because I offer a refund. I just want to let you know I'm doing it. Well, good God. Okay. And it's always that, Tom. It's always like one little blurb. I got my laundromat. One of my first ever, speaking of testimonials, I call them prodigies, one of my first ever, I showed up with a bouquet of balloons and surprised the guy. I told him we were going to send a camera crew, and I showed up in LA. He's got 3 stores now, 4, working on his 4th store. Sam, lovely Sam.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy.
Just great dude. I found out when we did all of that, like a dumbass, I showed up on Chinese New Year. He's like, he spent 3.5 hours with us, and it's getting to be late afternoon. He goes, by the way, I really have to go. I said, oh, dude, yeah, no, whatever, take off. Take care of business. He's like, well, it's not business, it's family. My whole family's at my house for Chinese New Year. I'm like, what the dude, he was so relaxed just helping me make a video. Not even, I mean, it's like Christmas Day, and I'm like, well, yeah, no, Danny's coming to town. Unreal. Great guy. But I found out about his store on Facebook when someone wrote, I'm finally going 24 hours. And the way he wrote it, the verbiage really tipped me off. He was like, my store is ripe for it, and I'm going. I was like, wait a minute. Someone said ripe 24 hour. That's one of my people.
Right.
Looked him up. His
that's one of your words.
His real name is like Sam Ajilawajapan. And I was like, okay, don't know that name. Looked up in my subsystem. Yes, he bought a course. He opened his store in 55 days. So there's the answer to one of someone else's questions. And also, so what's the average time? I'm not a numbers guy. I don't care for it, right? Do I know how much I earned in investment income this month? I don't. I really don't. What really matters to me is how much I have to pay the IRS when the time comes, because that hurts. What matters to me is knowing that when I buy something in this position in life at 54 years old, money is really not an object. That is crazy. And I'm telling you guys this, not because I'm going to let you in on my net monthly income or any of that stuff. None of that is your business. But this is what Laundromats largely did for me. There's a lot of fake goo dipshits out there that are running around private jets and look at me leaning on this car that I rented for the day, et cetera, because that's part of it. And someone came on the channel the other day and said, nice set or nice blue screen or whatever it was. They were talking about my Facebook page, and they said that that was a nice blue screen. Hold on, Tommy. This. I can do nested main scene, or I can go completely to my picture. So that's me in Vienna. And a funny thing that my family does is when I get an incoming call and I start talking to a client, they know I've instructed them, take a picture of me, especially if it's somewhere cool. Sometimes they take pictures of me in my underwear, and it might be somewhere cool, but you guys aren't going to see those. And it means a lot to me when somebody says, "Hey, nice green screen," because yeah, that's the former palace of the royal family in Vienna, Austria. Just very cool. Anywho, life is good. I love to travel. And it's not always just going to some museum. It's having a cigar on the streets of Paris at 4 a.m. You know, I'm wide awake and watching people spray the sidewalks off and the smell of baguettes. And then Shelley wakes up an hour later. All right, Tommy, help me out. We've been doing this together, and I want you to answer something for me. What's the worst part about working with me?
The worst part? I mean, I don't really have any complaints, to be honest with
It took you so long to answer. I must be fantastic. No,
I can't really think of anything.
I'm trying to be realistic, and I'm trying to be realistic with a guy that have you been on any lives before?
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay. So I don't keep track of that necessarily, but what's the worst part about the process? What's the hardest part about working with these landlords?
Nobody answers the phone. Nobody calls back.
Well, they do. They do.
Yeah, some do. Most don't.
I'm returning calls, as I say, all day, every day. So planting seeds is one thing, right? And for those, maybe there are some folks on here who have never understood or even delved into the Danny way, if you will, right? The free laundromat thing. When I put a moniker on this whole thing, when I named it, when I stamped it in stone, it was free laundromat. There was never any reason to come up with a Soapy Suds name. There was never any reason to try to figure out what I would call it. When I had to brand my stores, my locations, that popped into my head instantly. Clean living. How old are you, Tom?
31.
You ever watch Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Well, there's this episode where Bugs is like, I think it was a racing car or something. And they're like, how do you, oh yeah. It was, God, this is coming back to me. It was the tortoise and the hare, and he was the hare. And they were doing a whole funny thing where they were racing each other. And then Bugs wins. And they ask him, like the reporter asks him, how'd you do it? And they have a microphone. He's like, clean living. So, yeah, believe it or not, that was my my thing. But you know, that doesn't end up on your LLCs, and there's all these things that are so simple in business that people get hung up on, the small things. So, you know, dealing as we do, even brokers that are selling laundries are very difficult to get on the telephone because it seems like everybody has another job. My daily driver, my truck is going to be in a magazine for the umpteenth time. I mean, it's got machine gun mounts and flamethrowers and working smoke screens. So it's very cool. Working with my daughter, we get sponsored items, and trust me, it's better to buy things because if I see something I want, it's easier to buy it than to try to go through a sponsorship because it's a big pain in the neck. When someone calls you up and says, hey, do you want bumpers and tires and rims? That's different. So, anywho, my point is, and I have one, trust me, the guy who wrote the article, it's time for us to have an interview. And he said, can he talk on Sunday? And right away, I know that he has another job, right? I mean, to get paid to write
Uh-huh.
an article, you think like he's this staff, hard-bitten writer with a half-bitten cigar in his mouth, and his sleeves are rolled up,
Yeah.
and he's sitting in the back like Barney Miller. Well, a lot of these guys in reality have a 9 to 5. And then he texted
Hmm.
me this week, and he was like, I can talk after 5. So I knew, the guy's got a job. Great guy.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a lovely gentleman. We talked for about an hour, mostly about why I would build this truck and everything else. He's like, I think you're really going to like the article. I think you're really going to like it. But with those clues I could put together, right? The worst part
Uh-huh.
about his job, that was my point, is trying to nail down these people that he's interviewing. And
Right.
I try to be easy, but I also don't make appointments. And you know that about me, Tom. If you make an appointment,
Yeah.
someone will break it, either you or me. When I first ever started working with clients, calling landlords, ever, I had few, right? I mean, at one point I had one client. I don't remember who it was, but there had to be a time. And when I
Uh-huh.
had a handful of clients, I did it very differently. The reason I do it the way I do now is because I've learned, right? I had a gal, lived in Vegas. I'll never forget. Her day and time came up to make calls to landlords. And I waited and nothing happened. And I'm being pensive. I'm checking my watch.
Kill shot.
I keep hitting the wrong button for
There's that word again.
I'm being pensive. And, I'm not a big, people think if they work from home, they're going to watch TV all day. That's not my thing. If
Uh-huh.
I'm not working, I'm going to be drilling holes in something or doing other work. Ask Shelly. Shelly, you could comment on here. You and Mac could just be talking to each other. So this client, I'm waiting for her, and I sent her a text. I said, hey, what's up? Are we doing this today? She writes back, oh, I'm in Vegas with my girls. Let me find a quiet place and we'll get. I was like, no, God, go Vegas it up. It was getting to be late afternoon. I was like, no. So again, these are the lessons that I have learned in the thing that I do uniquely. I do this uniquely. There's no one else that does it. And it works
Uh-huh.
for both of us. You're quite a wordsmith, Tom. I know. I don't let anybody get a fucking word in edgewise anyway. So tell the kids and folks at home, you're in, what do you call it? Southern, northern, central Texas? Don't give us cities. But
Yeah, North Texas.
North Texas. All right.
Yeah.
And we've been calling. We've been leaving messages. We both have a shared Google document.
Yeah. We called for about a month. Finally got somebody on the phone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell me as though I don't know what happened, like you're telling the story from scratch. How'd you find the location?
I've been by the store a couple times. I have an app I turn on my phone when I start driving, and I'll see where I've already been before, And there was a couple streets I didn't go down, and this main road though, I have to go through this main road to get to these other little streets to get to where I was going. And anyway, I've been down there several times, and I saw this store, and I've been in it. It looked fine. There wasn't a ton of machines out of order. I figured I'd circle back later on. If I could, if it's a slow weekend, I couldn't find any terrible stores, I'd throw that one on there. But anyway, I happened to notice their little banner thing was like hanging halfway down the side of the building, like
Ooh.
covering the front door, like the strings broke or something, and it was just dangling, and it was covering the front door. So I'm like, huh, that's weird. I just made a U-turn and pulled in the parking lot, went to the door, and yanked on the door, and it was locked, and all the machines were gone. So, I think it happened maybe a month at most before I, found the store was empty. I think they pulled all the equipment probably a month prior. So, but I wouldn't have known the store was closed unless I saw that banner just, hanging midair, covering the front door.
Now, would you have known it was a
It was still
laundromat?
open,
Would you have known it was a laundromat?
It's in a busy shopping center.
Okay.
So there was a ton of cars, and you just couldn't tell, you know.
Got it. So the sign was there, but
Hmm.
the place wasn't. And look, if you lived in that neighborhood and you needed a
Hmm.
laundromat, you would know where it was. You would find out. You can't
Right.
expect a cheap, shitty apartment complex to hand you a brochure like even a good motel. Forget about a hotel where they have a little thing that says,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, this is the nearest pizza place. It's really good." This, da, 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 da. These are the things I need to know. Where's my beer? Where's the nearest good pizza joint? And
Hmm.
hope that the pizza isn't the greatest you've ever had if you're never going back to North Carolina. Oh my God,
Right.
I
Right.
had a barbecue sandwich when I visited the Willifords. I bought one on the way out because I wanted Shelly to taste it, and then I ate it on the plane. Sorry, Shelly. Oh God, it was good. Had no barbecue sauce, man. It was like good Texas barbecue, but this was um, it wasn't dry, but
Uh-huh.
it was vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pipe in the
Uh-huh.
comments if you know what I'm talking about. I never had anything like. They brought it out and I was like, that looks like dry pork, and then I bit into it. It was like life changing. Big
Huh.
time, big
I don't know what
time.
that is.
Yeah, no, it was a vinegar sauce where
Yeah.
I didn't need to put any barbecue sauce on it at all. Just yeah, and we went out for oysters and clams,
Nice.
North Carolina.
But But yeah, I would have never known the store wasn't closed unless that banner wasn't halfway ripped down and dangling. If it was still in operation, they would have stuck it back up or just taken it down
Yeah,
completely.
yeah.
But you know
Well,
what I mean?
so you feel like if it wasn't for that messed up banner, you might have never even seen it.
Right. I would have probably kept going.
Yeah, and they didn't have
So
a it didn't say laundromat on the marquee. It didn't say laundromat on the monument sign on the corner. Nowhere
yeah,
that you
there's no
noticed.
sign on the yeah there's no sign on the front of the building that says laundromat, but there's like a I don't know what you call it, like a box sign on a pole, like a skinny pole, and it's all faded, and it says "Coin Laundry," and
Mm.
it's right directly behind a tree, and you can't even see it.
Did you search the address to see if you could find any former advertisements for this place when it was operating?
Yeah, I saw some. Actually, online it says it's still open. Like it says
Of
on
course.
Google, it says open. And the last review was a year ago.
Well, it's just to show, and I'm sure it was a horrible review. It just shows to
Yeah.
go. It shows to go that these places are not even concerned about how can you run a
Right.
business in 2025 without any form of advertisement whatsoever. They just do it. Oh, it's the way we've always done it. So we're not going to spend
Yeah.
money on something like that. Everybody knows where we are, right behind the
Uh
tree
huh.
with no sign. Now, I want
Yeah.
for the cheap seats, I want people to understand that being closed is not part and parcel as far as how we do this. Some people do get a little hung up on the first ever video that they watch, or they're just pigeonholed into this thinking that, oh, okay, Danny wants us to find closed laundries and then go to. No, 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 no. We prefer, and the preponderance of the stores that we do take over through this non hostile method are operating. And it's a little sad, sure. You walk in, and Shelly's commenting on here now. You walk in and you see what you can see, and the place is still running, operating, although poorly. Unreal, sad. They're not
Yeah.
serving the community, and it's also not a laundromat is not a pool hall, right? It's not
Hmm.
it's not a self-serving business. Every cop wants to own a bar someday. All right. Well, if you decide to have your bar and it's going to be a dive bar, that's a hard thing to do. If you decide it's going to have a
Hmm.
sort of a Chicago hipster look, that's easy. Costs more. My point is, at the end of the day, the laundromat is not about you as the proprietor. It's not even about making money. It's about the patrons because it's a community service. These people don't want to go to a laundromat. They need to go to a laundromat. They have to go to a laundromat. They can't change their circumstances. And so give them that opportunity. But far too many operators think, fuck them. They have to come here, so I'm not going to do them any solids. Really, really grotesque. I'm going to burn through a few more comments, and we're going to get to the meat of this. So we sent out an LOI. Tell us about the full process, Tom. The first call, who'd we talk to? What went down?
Yeah, we left a few voicemails, couldn't get anybody on the phone. Finally got one of the guys, two guys that are on the signage out front, and we tried both of them a couple times. Finally got one of them on the phone. He said, what did he say? We told him what we do, how we do it. We'd sent him an LOI. We sent the LOI, and we got a response. Was it yesterday, I think?
And the thing about a letter of intent, people want to do things fast and easy, right? In my course, I tell people, hey, if you want my LOI, just let me know. And I've never thought better of that. I never really thought I should take that out because I know that people are intrigued and interested when they send that email. And don't get me wrong, it's not all, it was never something where I thought, oh, I'll cleverly tell people to have my free letter of intent. A lot of folks pause the video and they scroll through the LOI and they type it out. That's been happening for years. So as funny as that may seem, that's one method. But when people email me, I send them out my LOI and I say, please, for the love of God, don't just start sending this to landlords. Don't go look at the perfect, filthy, nasty, disgusting laundromat with old broken equipment and the signs broken in the parking lot. Type out an LOI that takes you 3 days. You have the right email address for the landlord, his home address, his work address. You put 3 of these in snail mails and you send him an email all on the same day. You'll never hear from him because he doesn't know who you are. And even if it is a perfect letter, they're going to assume that it's a farming letter. That's not the way to get the response. There are fake guru out there telling people to send letters. How many letters do you get, Tom? Sell me your car, sell me your ranch, sell me your house. You might not even own the house and you get a letter, someone asking you to sell it to them. It's utterly ridiculous. Is this the first one on our list? Or is it, what's the nickname?
No.
What's the nickname?
We've added several on since then. Nickname is Worst. Worst Corn Laundry.
Oh, that's pretty generic, but it's the only one you called that. All right, I see.
Right. Also, we to back up, we sent the LOI out on August, I think, 6th. And a few days later, he said, what did he say? He said, okay, great. I'll have the counter for you Thursday or Friday. Thursday or Friday came. That came and went, never got anything. And then yesterday, he finally sent it out yesterday. So
have you been sitting on pins and needles just wondering?
No.
Okay. Oh, well, you can tell me the truth.
After Friday came, I was like, fuck it. This guy's never going to respond.
Yeah, again, it's a little weird, man. And I'm accustomed to it. I've been through it many, many times, not only with my own stores, but with my clients, such as you. And the hardest part, I've had clients that have reached out directly. They've emailed. They don't tell me about it. It's the worst thing you could do.
It's tempting, but
yeah. My analogy is, you send the note to the cute girl in the front of the class. Will you go out with me? And you have 2 little boxes to check yes or no. And I hope this is like 5th grade. But you watch her open the thing and she never sends it back. Well, that's a no.
Yeah.
You don't really need
an
on
answer. Gmail. On Gmail now, there's this little button thing. Like if somebody doesn't respond within like a couple days, it has like a little follow-up button. I don't know what it does. I just know. But it's like, should I click
find
that?
Out what it does. Oh God.
I better not click that.
I know how you could find out. Look up on YouTube what it does and let me know. Remind me, because I have no idea. Yeah, it sends another missile.
I don't know if it pushes it to the top of their list or what,
But Again, waiting is the hardest part, but it's
Yeah.
also how we get what we want. It's
Yep.
in any negotiation, the number one breakdown for the one that's trying to get a thing, right? They're trying to get money. I get that, but I'm saying you're buying a car, you're trying to negotiate a
Mhm.
lease so you can own a business. You're trying to get the thing, right? The other one wants the money or your daughter's hand or whatever it is. You're trying to get this thing. That's where people screw up. I want it. No, you don't. The only way to find out how little they are willing to take is by offering less. And then it's increments
Yeah.
of that, meaning, when do I follow up? Never. There are schools of thought that say that's wrong. Sorry, you're in my school of thought. Never.
Yeah.
Because you know well that they looked at it. And dude, I
Yeah.
hear this from clients who are crying, literally. I hear this from clients who are spinning out of control. Or the worst for me, dude, we've never met. We may never meet. All I hear is silence
Yeah.
on the end of the phone, like a deafening silence. Well, what do we do now?
Mm.
And then I'm like, nothing. Smoke a cigar.
Right.
Go see a movie.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah. I was watching
fact,
some videos.
yeah, you know, if you sit
No.
and you try to find the right video for your scenario, you will find it, but you probably
Right.
have to churn through quite a few. My apologies. The algorithm is not that good to you. Okay, so we talked to the gentleman. Is this the landlord himself, or was it? It was one of the
Landlord's
guys
agent.
on the sign. Okay, so one of the
Yeah.
dudes. And imagine if the landlord found out that this guy's sitting on his hands, and at one point he said he was on
That's
vacation.
what I was thinking.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? How does this guy make money? How do any of them make money? It doesn't make any sense.
didn't.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, I know, and I can explain it. It's like the guy who wrote the article, right? It's not their main bread and butter most of the time. There's a lot of housewives that are realtors or interior designers, and God bless them, their main job is taking care of the kids, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And so if you're trying to hire somebody like that, and like a contractor, try to get a contractor to pick up the phone. Dude, how do you make money? Well, they're making money now, right? They've got more jobs than they can handle, and you just have to understand that. Or they're like the
Yeah.
guy that we paid to put blinds in my front room, and he just took the money and literally never came back. Still have his number. I should
What?
give you guys his number right now. Shelly, text me his number. We'll have everybody call him up and make a blinds appointment. Yeah, that's pretty horrible when somebody literally just steals from you and you're like, oh, well, what do I do? Right? You look at the Better Business Bureau and the guy's been destroyed already, but like it does, like $700, but not cool. Next guy that showed up was a vet. He was absolutely incredible. Had the greatest time. Put the blinds up. He made a little ding in the corner, and he said, "I want to show you this. I'm really sorry. I can replace the whole thing if you want." I was like, "Dude, my kids are gonna fuck it up worse than that soon enough. Trust me." Let me find the email. Did he CC both of us?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Do you want me to text you the name it's under?
Oh, I love when I get these emails. I'm looking at maybe. Hello, hope you're well, and thanks for your kind information. I visit your YouTube channel. That's where I start to know, okay, foreigner. Your content is just wow. But the main reason the video goes viral is the SEO. Oh, done.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's trying to sell me. And I love when they pretend like they're a fan at first because it gets me going. It's like, yeah, no, that sucks. Danny D'Angelo, the king of laundry, has 58,000 subscribers and some views. Your SEO score is absolutely very low. Your videos are not on page SEO. Your videos need to be on page SEO and promote a larger audience. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he's going to guarantee me. Dude, if you're listening, which he's not, I don't give a shit. All I'd have to do is stop cursing and my channel would skyrocket. I don't care. I want to get the handful of people that really want to do this together and do it. All right, I'm looking for the email from you.
I texted you the name.
You're so tech savvy. Oh, I'm interested, Tom. What app do you use to tell you which streets you've already driven down? That's intriguing.
It's called GPS Tracks. I think it's like $9.99 for a year or something, something cheap.
Okay.
And you just press the start button and it starts, and you can delete things, you can add things, you can make a whole map. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. So when you're scouting only, you flick this thing on and it tells you where you've been.
Right.
That's
So that way I'm
cool.
not going in circles and.
Try to steer away from too much technology stuff because it changes so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Do I really care about what he did? Thank you for sending this LOI over. Apologies for the delayed response. I just got back to the office Monday and have been playing catch up. So what? I'll try and get the counter tomorrow, the latest Friday. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then here it is, highlighted counter. To me, this is kind of boring. This is why I don't do a lot of this back and forth on the channel. But I don't know, guys. Tell me if you like to see this kind of stuff. I'm going to scroll up past the address. Yeah, this has your name, your laundromat name on it. Oh, I don't have permissions to edit. Enable editing.
Want me to send it to you?
No, I think I can enable it myself, strangely. People are weird, if I show the form,
Mm-hmm.
somebody will say, "Oh my God, they're going to be able to hack your computer now." Yeah, I think I have it in a good position where I can see what I need to see. I'm not a tech person, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get this where you can look at it. Blah, bee, blah, bee, blah. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, just don't get the address and the agents and stuff on there.
Yeah, I didn't. All right, I'm just gonna read it. So, first and foremost, I'm never going to go over these LOIs or leases the way that you do. You're the fine tooth comb, right? Because A, it's your business. B, it's going to be very, very new to you, very fresh in your mind as you go through these things. So, how did you, as you're looking through this, how did you feel about the response overall?
I wasn't too thrilled about it, and then I started looking a little closer, and there's a couple of things they pushed back on. and I'm just not too sure. So I need your opinion.
Well, I am fairly thrilled with it. And first and foremost, what's the most important thing on this LOI?
$12 a square
The
foot.
rate of rent, right?
Uh huh.
The rate of rent,
Yep.
which is $1. 12 is 1.
Yep.
Okay. 3% annual increases, you know that is standard, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's nothing. That's a pittance. When they ask for more than 3, I always think, what's wrong with these people? Why would they? When I've lost deals when they ask for CPI, right? The Consumer Proprietary Index, they want to go off of the CPI. Well, if it's 8% that year, if we get some dipshit in office, no, I'm not gonna acquiesce to that ever. Again, it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world, but it's going to cut into your pocketbook. So we don't do that. Now, we will counter with 2.5%. Why?
hmm
It's just a little FU. All right. But the
Right.
most important thing is that we asked for 12, right?
Right.
Okay. And they didn't ask for more. Strangely, they lined
No.
through no more than $12 per square foot, which
Yeah. I noticed
okay,
that too.
that just
Uh-huh.
doesn't make sense. We were saying no more than, but what maybe they
Right.
just, I mean, people try to be very legalese when they read and write and arithmetic things, so maybe that's what they were doing. Triple
Yeah, I
nets,
think that's what it is.
we don't put triple nets into the lease, right? So don't let that freak you out. We would never say that. We don't know
Yeah.
what they are. We don't include it. We know that this isn't going to be a gross lease. Gross leases are very rare. It's a thing of the past. If you're lucky enough to
Uh-huh.
find some little old lady who's owned the building for 70 years and she wants a gross lease rate, wonderful. Good for
Yeah.
you. Congrats. But it's become rarer and rarer.
Do you think he put that in there to like put that in the lease? Because I mean, once that's in the lease, that's what it is. You know, they wouldn't be able to increase it. I would
It's gonna
think.
be general. It's just gonna. It's a good point.
He's just
Yeah, it's just gonna say
breaking it
that
down.
it'll say in the lease that you're responsible for
hmm
the common area maintenance X percentage of
hmm
the insurance and the triple nets. Yeah, it's not going to give you a dollar amount, and then every year you'll get an accounting for it. Some very small
Yeah.
landlords don't provide you an accounting, and it's like whatever.
hmm
This is funny because they have air conditioning. So if they don't have HVAC, we ask them to put it in. If it's a swamp cooled location,
hmm
as horrible as that is, we say, you've got to put it in. In this case, they have it. And when we ask them to warranty it for 5 years, we're really pushing our luck. But the point being,
Uh-huh.
if it breaks every day for even a month that they warranty it, they're going to replace parts.
Yeah.
They're going to get it up and running appropriately, or they're going to have to replace the units. So we
He
asked.
said they just put new units up there.
There you go. There you go. So
Yeah.
I remember that. So they said, we asked for 5-year warranty. He said 1. Good.
hmm
Whatever's going to break in
Yeah,
a
that's fine.
year will break, and they will take care of it. So that's very good. Signage, he
Mhm.
just says he's not going to do it. Now, we talked about this. Are there signs?
There's that sign on a pole that says Coin Laundry. Like I said, it's kind of hidden behind the branches of a tree. But there's no sign above
I
like
see
the
that
door,
sign.
you know.
Yeah. I see that sign. So it's kind of
Yeah.
unique. You almost make it
Mhm.
sound smaller. It's more like that's about an 18-inch pole jutting
Mhm.
up, and does it light up? It probably doesn't now, but what we
Right.
on our pushback, and I want you to make note of all this. On our pushback, we'll ask them to be certain that it is um,
Mhm.
that it's functional, that it's lighting, because it just Coin Laundry is all it needs to say, and we'll put neons
Yeah.
in the glass that will
Uh-huh.
LAUNDRY. Yeah, I would just put a giant L in one window. At night, it's going
Yeah.
to be a very different scenario. You want people to be able to drive by and know that it's a laundry.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, is it your impression this guy's not going to give you any money at all? Is that what he's basically saying? He just lines through anything there's money.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Because he says flooring. No, he's not going to even remove the tile.
Yeah.
Additional items. He lined through the infrastructure stuff too, which he cannot do, and he wrote as is.
Uh-huh.
We're not asking you to do anything, bro. We're making sure that the previous operator doesn't come back and screw up what's there because the infrastructure is there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's because it says F&E on property, since there is no F&E.
Well,
technically.
inside
Maybe, I don't
baseball, it
Yeah.
it could be, but he didn't line through just F&E. He lined through all of it.
Yeah. Right.
Big store, man.
Yeah, 6,000 square feet.
Good
It's
God.
no joke. I know.
More money.
Exactly.
More money to be had. So,
Yep.
let's call this guy up tomorrow.
Okay. You want me to just text you like normal in the morning?
Yeah,
like,
just send me a text. We'll do a follow-up.
I'm ready or whatever.
Yeah. And, we could call him right now and see if he picks up. But, I feel like it almost seems rubish when you call somebody after hours and,
Yeah.
it's like 7 o'clock your time and, like, hey,
Right.
man,
I mean,
I'm a little drunk, so I thought I'd call. So we'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow morning during
Okay.
business hours. Obviously, can you stay for a minute?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is, what you're seeing is my friend Tom bought a silly course, made some calls, got someone to answer, talk the talk through me. I'm just a mouthpiece. And not yet, but very soon he will have himself $350,000 worth of infrastructure, a built laundromat. Wow. The flip side of that is what, Tom? People buying these places.
Right. I told one of my buddies about this, and he sent me some listing to some laundromat for sale around here. I'm like, dude, no, I'm not buying a laundromat. Are you kidding me?
You weren't listening,
But I tried to
dumbass.
explain the concept. He just wouldn't. He just couldn't get it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't explain it well enough, but
He's
like, all right,
excited
dude.
that you're into laundry, so he sends you a listing that he found. Like, that's what you need. Like, no, dude.
Well, he is too, and he's trying to buy one. I'm like, come on, man.
Well, after you sign your lease, then you turn them on to me because you don't want competition.
Right.
Friends are friends, but this is not friend business.
Yeah.
This is show business. Show friends.
Right. Yeah.
Candace is saying things. Dennis, stay away from testimonials. I already said that. Pound the pavement. What's the average time it takes a new client to find their laundromat? We talked about that. My guy, Marcus says, Danny's the real deal. Well, thank you, Marcus. Mac, Cummins is the engine in our trucks. I live in Cummings, Georgia. McDonald's is the shitty burger place that my name is Mick Dugald. Oh, I say your name wrong every time. Sorry, dude. I get made fun of for this because I just glance through this. I can't use the excuse that I can't read that far because I can see it. Thank you. McDonald's is the shitty place. My name is Mick Dugald. I'm trying to interact with you, and thanks for the picture. Oh my God, that's funny. Sorry, Mac. Are the Cummings diesel, is that Mack trucks? Maybe? Am I right? Does anybody know? Is that what we're getting at? Or no, Cummings is the diesel. Nancy says yes and yes. So, Nancy, you have seen the course. I forgot what the second question was. Uh, Candace says, another thing I learned was about the power of contract attendance to give me the freedom to acquire more locations and scale. I was really thinking of creating a wash and fold on my own. And then what? Now you got it. In the dozens and dozens and dozens of existing laundromat owners that I have consulted with, it might be hundreds, but I don't want to lie about numbers, purposefully or otherwise. The dozens and dozens and dozens of people I've consulted with who already have existing laundries, they always want to make more money. That's why they want to speak to me. And the number one thing they are screwing up is working in the store. Number two, the employees that they have trying to make the wash, dry, fold work are stealing from them, and they're paying them too much. And number three, every single time I say, well, how much does your wash, dry, fold make? $14,000 a month. Oh, that's a staggering number. Good for you. How much does it cost you? There's two answers. Well, $17,000 in salaries alone, or less than that. We make $3,000 a month. Okay, so you make $3,000 a month with that. What shifts are you and your wife working? Well, she's in there 10 hours a day, and I'm in there 4 hours a week. So you're paying your wife less than legal minimum wage. We have to crack this nut to figure out the truth. So if you set up your laundry knowing that you will never work in there, nor will you try to gain profit from wash, dry, fold, where you will lose money, you'll never do it wrong. Do one thing, do it well. You go to a fish and chip place and they've got pizza, head for the hills. I'm not stopping there. Fish, chips, and pizza. Try not to be an idiot. No, thank you. Jose says he didn't get the course yet. Now I'm supposed to yell at him to do it, but I won't do that. That's up to anyone else. It unlocks some systems. It does it simply. And it also allows you to interact with me. You're interacting with me right now. Let's face it. You can email me. Anyone can. Danny@freelaundromat.com. I don't mind it. I'll answer your questions. I'm not going to shove something down your throat. But if it's an obvious, come on, where people say, well, I haven't seen your course, but I'm about to sign a lease. No, come on. And then the next, well, why? Oh, I don't have the money for the course. Okay, don't do this. Be realistic. I'm realistic. Candace is listening to you speak with Peter Mayberry, the Williford brothers, Joe Dan Reed. Hearing their stories and journey was inspiring to me. Success leaves clues, and I really enjoy learning from you. Well, thank you. Mac McDougald, don't encourage me, he says. Yes, he never sits still, says Shelley. Hi, babe. I was talking to Mac, not Shelley. Hello, Mrs. D. Clara Santiso. I've got an interesting idea, Mr. Danny. No, I haven't watched your online course, though I visited it once. You want to listen. Well, give me more than that, Clara. What am I listening to? An interesting idea. Oh, God. She's trying to Shark Tank me, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds like a Shark Tank deal. What do you think, Tom?
I don't know.
I've got an interesting idea, Mr. Danny. Apple, Dennis says, does that email as well and just sends the same email again. Ooh, see, yeah, that might show some desperation. And the fear is that the person on the other side of this doesn't know that you just clicked a button. They think like your dumbass sent it again and again. So that might not be the thing. Hi, Danny from the Bayou State. Hello, Tim. We are live, says Manuel. Well, where have you been, dude? We've been doing this. Oh, have we consulted was the second question. Oh, all right, Nancy. Well, send me a thing and we'll get on the phone. Once I get my first laundry with your help, of course, do you switch to 24/7 from day one? Good question, Manuel. No. If you've seen the course, you would know this. It's once the store is ripe for it. And those two leading indicators are customers waiting outside when you open in the morning, and customers begging to stay late. Because then you'll be able to fill the gap between when you shut down the wash, dry, fold, your contract attendants leave, and the morning when they come back, which is the witching hour, right? We want to keep the knuckleheads out, and the number one way to do that is a customer. Your best security is one or more customers. Thanks for the question, Manuel. And Max says, in our Ram trucks, I don't know what the other thing we said. Now I like you even more, Mac. Did you open a laundry in Socorro, New Mexico around 2004, Danny? Maybe is my answer. Tom, I appreciate you. Hit me up tomorrow. I'll do my level best to bring it live to all of you folks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're new to the channel, hit the sub button for your sake. Be selfish, not for my sake. We just learned on this very call that my SEO sucks. So what the who really cares? I do have that button. I don't use it often. Everyone go make a comment on one of my other videos and make me just thrilled. Go ahead, what?
Oh, I had a question. Is it normal for landlords agents to not send a counteroffer until the day the LOI expires, or does it just vary?
Was this the expiration date?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
On the expiration date.
Really
Yeah,
silly.
right?
And at the expiration date is meaningless. I put that into my little,
Yeah.
I
I know.
what happens more often than not is they don't send it at all. But if they are going
Right.
to respond, they usually send it after the expiration date because they kind of, especially guys like, I'm on
Okay.
vacation, I'm doing this and that. That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
funny. It again, to me, that's a telling tidbit that he might be a little rubish. Like we were just going to totally fold our arms and ignore him if he missed that date. What do we care? That's
Uh-huh.
funny. I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't realize that. That's a good question.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad you brought it up. No, more,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to us, but it apparently means something to him, or didn't even look at it. It could be one or both.
Yeah, maybe he might have not even looked at it. It's a young kid,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
All right, dude.
I don't know.
Manana.
All right, man. Thank
Thanks
you.
for the time.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Bye. I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm not going to say that, my thumbnail, he gets a free laundromat. That's what he's going to do, whether it's this one or the next one. If you work with me, I will not allow you to sign on the line that hurts you. That's important to me. 2 days ago, I consulted with a gentleman who said, Danny, you have already saved me from losing $300,000 already. So we should move forward and work together on the next thing. Couldn't agree more. You know who you are. Your marching orders are to go watch a video on my channel regarding the topic that you would like to hear the answer to, the question you'd like to hear the answer to. 2 more people. Can you talk more about the wash, dry, fold, Danny? It's in the course. Nah, I will, and I do, and I have a few videos about that. So there's your marching orders. Clara, I know of a laundromat. It's been there eons. I think that's spelled with an E. 40 years approximately. The operator sublets it, I think. It's small. Next door is an empty building. It seems larger in size. If derm is grown into. Don't understand, Clara. If you're asking if you should expand, no, that's almost as bad as building one from scratch. Danny, the course says Marcus is honestly one of the most affordable I've seen out there. The information you get is solid and will definitely help you kickstart your journey towards success. Thanks, Marcus, for saying that. Funny thing about affordability has almost nothing to do with this. If you buy someone else's fake guru course, what are you learning? I myself consult with people that say, oh, I bought this person's course. And I say, what'd you learn? It's always crickets. Not kidding. Or one line that they keep repeating over and over. Lopez, how do I get your course? Come on, man. There's a link in every single video. It's not hard. freelaundromat.com. I don't want to make it difficult on you. Go there, click the thing. Take out a little piece of plastic. It's a couple bucks. Clara, the next building would one have to pay for that fee for greenhouse. You mean the EPA fee? Yes, no, don't do it. LDRMT is laundromat. We call them mats. That's even shorter than what you wrote, Clara. All right, let's see if we can do this thing. Appreciate each and every one of you. Find another video on my channel and comment. That's what I want all of you to do. Go find another video on the channel and comment. Later, kids. Yeah, little funk. Little funk for the louts. See, if you already clicked off and went away, you're missing this.